Time for Wellness Wednesday. If you've ever struggled with not feeling happy, you certainly are not alone. Happiness levels plummeted for a lot of Canadians over the course of the pandemic. So what can you do if you aren't feeling the cheer? Joining us this morning with her tips, happiness researcher Jillian Mandich. Good to see you again in studio. How great is that?
It makes me happy.
Makes me happy, that's for sure. Okay, so let's get right into it. The first step is to do what you call an audit of your mental health. So what does that look like exactly?
Yeah, the first step to any behavior change is awareness, because we can't change what we don't know, right? And so when we look at, we go to the doctor for a physical to get our physical health checked, but how often do we actually stop to think about our mental health, right? Which is a very important part of our overall health and wellness. And so just taking some time, and the thing about doing a mental health check is that it needs to be done over time, because even if you think throughout your day, how you feel in the morning might be different than the afternoon, but if you start to notice it over time, we start to get an idea of trends, and from there we can start to, one, the key piece is not judging how we're feeling, right? It's just step one, and once we know how we're feeling, then we can do something about it.
So it's the best idea to sort of keep a log.
Exactly.
Is a week enough? Is 2 weeks? What would you
Whatever
suggest?
sort of, till you start to feel like you get an overall, like I'm doing pretty well, I'm feeling more overwhelmed than I want to, I'm feeling really great, who knows? But we sort of take that time to learn, because with happiness, the only person that knows how we feel is us. And so if we don't take the time to ask ourselves, then how do we know?
And to check in on ourselves. Now, a common error that so many people make is this sort of expression, which is, well, I'll be happy when X happens, or I'll be happy when Y happens, or maybe Z happens. You just have to decide to be happy. Is there any proof that that is true?
No.
Right.
It's this myth. And a lot of times we have these stories in our head and we don't even realize that we're telling ourselves them. Sometimes, I will be happy when I have X amount of dollars, when I get married, when I have kids, when I get whatever it is. And the reality is happiness is not a destination, right? We don't arrive at happiness one day and then we're like, oh, I've reached happiness, I'm here, right? It's a process, it's a practice. It's similar to fitness or to healthy eating, where if we want to be fit, what do we have to do? We have to move our body on a regular basis. If we want to eat healthy, we have to choose healthy food most of the time. And if when we want to be happy, then we have to do things on a regular basis to make us happy. And what I love about understanding that is that now we've taken happiness from something that's in the future that's contingent on if something happens, right? I will be happy if. And it empowers us because now we can think, okay, in my life today, what can I do to practice happiness?
There is another misconception that you are clearing up, which is that sad feelings aren't bad feelings. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, this was actually a big thing. When I first started studying happiness, like from a personal perspective, I was like, I don't like feeling sad. I don't like feeling anxious. So how do I study that and not feel sad? But really, all emotions are just information. And sometimes the more challenging emotions like sadness, like fear, like anxiety, we feel uncomfortable with them. And so we think that they're bad. But really, when we think about healthy psychological functioning, the entire spectrum and range of emotions are all part of it. And it's not bad to feel sad. If you're sad, you're sad.
So if you are sad, should you be living in that space, or should you be trying to change that tune internally?
I think, well, part of it is that, whatever our emotions are, they're data, right? They're information telling us how we feel. They're directives. And so when we think about that, then what happens is that we understand, hey, this is some information, but I'm not judging myself for it. And then when I know that, then I can choose how I want to act, as opposed to just, when you're really angry or upset and you just kind of act out of like a reflex.
Yeah.
When we take the time to have the awareness of how we're feeling, then we can start to maybe not act in that way, to take that time to say, hey, this is information. Why am I feeling this way? What's going on? And what do I want to do about it?
And I love the way that you approach that too, because that you speak to my brain too, in terms of like, okay, this is happening, I'm collecting data, let's take a look at the bigger picture, and then we can come up with some sort of way to either change behavior, alter behavior, or do those little changes in life that'll make me happy on a daily basis.
Exactly. It makes it manageable, right?
Yeah, awesome. Jillian, thank you. So good to see you in studio.
So good to see you.
I hope you have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
All right, take care.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.